Okay guys, I'm going to go ahead and talk to you now about how to flesh out your body paragraph number 2. Before I do though, I do want to point out something that I forgot to include in that last video, so I've gone back and I've fixed that. And that is that I was just talking to you about how to flesh out the rest of the paragraph, and I just forgot to make sure that the topic sentence was included here at the top. So I went back in to the example in the slide presentation and made sure that I included the topic sentence for the paragraph at the top of each of your examples as far as the sandwich model is concerned. So just pay attention to that when you're able to look over this presentation on Google Classroom. The rest of it is as it was. Okay, so now let's talk about body paragraph number 2. So the first body paragraph, you're using ethos to establish your own credibility and also to use the credibility that others have. So you're going to use star power, you're going to use celebrity endorsements, you're going to use doctors, lawyers, experts in the field, whatever field it is that is surrounding the topic or the problem that you're writing about. In this particular paragraph, you're going to use logos instead. And so primarily anyway. So primarily with logos, you want to make sure that you're using facts, statistics, examples, details. You're setting some kind of precedent. You are using logical reasoning. You're providing research. So logos is all about appealing to logic, appealing to reason, making sure that your claims make sense, okay, based on facts and statistics. So we're looking at the second point in your thesis statement. The second point is that wearing school uniforms would save parents time and money. Remember that the first point was that wearing school uniforms would, cause less stress, less worry for teenagers. So now we're going to talk about the parents saving time and money. And so let's use this as a pretend topic sentence. And just like with the last example, I have made up facts and quotes and magazine titles and things like that just for the purpose of time and just to show you how it looks. And again, I'm making another video to make sure that you understand how to make sure that you cite your information correctly, and that will come in just a few minutes. So our topic sentence here is going to be: many parents find themselves constantly pressed for time and struggling to manage family expenses. That goes with the thing from our thesis statement that says that doing so would save parents time and money. Now I've just turned that into a topic sentence for this paragraph. So the types of information that you would include to support this statement would be things like statistics and facts and reasoning. So I've made up some examples for this. An example with statistics could be: in a recent study by the Haverford Institute, 93% of 12,000 parents claim to be living paycheck to paycheck. That's a statistic because it involves numbers that have been published, researched and published. Okay. An example of using reasoning could be: because 3/5 of parents, or 3 out of 5 parents, work more than one job, little time is left to dedicate to shopping for clothes and planning daily outfits for their children. So, you've got this little bit of a fact right here that is presented, but then it just makes sense. It's reasonable that because that many parents are working more than one job, they would have little time to dedicate to menial tasks. And then using some facts would be: since 1947, more than 20,000 schools in the United States have switched to mandatory school uniforms for their dress code. That would be something that would be a published fact from somewhere, and so that's an example of using a fact. So what you want to do is you're trying to build out your argument now with your topic sentence by providing some sandwiches here that have a variety of facts, statistics, and reasoning. And again, you need to alternate between making sure that you are citing information from sources that you're providing some context first, you're citing some information from sources, and then you're providing some analysis. So here, let's look at this example. So in the black, we have our topic sentence: many parents find themselves constantly pressed for time and struggling to manage family expenses. Now, we're going to kind of set some context, right? We're engaging our readers. So we're going to use a statement that is kind of like a transition statement here. Gone are the days when families can support themselves on one income. Now, I'm pretending that I have taken this from a piece of publication of some kind. And so here's a fact that I've taken from a publication that says, because 3 out of 5 parents work more than one job, quoted in Haverford, page 38. Little time is left to dedicate to shopping for clothes and planning daily outfits for their children. School uniforms mean the big back-to-school shopping trips are a thing of the past, and the time spent every day trying to help children find something to wear can be spent on something else. Now, notice that all this here in green is like my own commentary, right? So here I've set up the idea about money and time, and I'm talking about parents having to work more than one job, so they have a little time to spend on that that task of shopping, and also of trying to make sure that they help their kids get their clothes picked out. So now I'm going to, set up some further context. Saving time and saving money go hand in hand. A recent study by the Haverford Institute shows that 93% of 12,000 parents claim to be living paycheck to paycheck. And again, here's some analysis. If families do not have any expendable income, they will be looking for ways to save money as much as they can. That's like my words that just make sense as to why this particular fact is important. Further fact or information, as reported in schools today, school uniforms can save up to $500 per student in an average family per school year. And then my analysis of why that's important is by switching to uniforms, school systems can help take a lot of pressure off of the average family, freeing them up to spend time and money on other important things. Okay, so the most important thing that I need you to see, first of all, is that this is where you're going to use facts and statistics. A lot of you, I've noticed in your introductory paragraphs, you wanted to jump right into the facts and statistics, and that's usually not the best way to start your introduction, because then you give yourself very little room to go into facts and statistics later on in your paper. So what you're going to have to make sure that you do is, in this paragraph, you're going to have to use data, information, statistics, that kind of thing, but don't repeat whatever you used in the first paragraph. So if you used some information in that category in the first paragraph, and that's all the information you have, then you need to take it out of the first paragraph and put it into the second body paragraph instead. So take it out of your introduction, put it into your second body paragraph, unless you can go further into it and talk about it in more detail here in the body paragraph. Okay, so a couple of, just as summary here, make sure that first of all you have your topic sentence that relates back to your thesis statement. Secondly, make sure that you continue to use your best writing to engage your reader and to try to set them up with some context and keep them engaged. That you're including some facts from your research, which is probably going to come from your charity's website, and then your analysis about each piece of factual evidence that you supply. So don't dump in a whole bunch of facts in one chunk and then come down and give your analysis. Sorry, instead what you need to do is do one fact and some analysis. Give a little bit more context, fact, analysis. Fact, analysis. Okay, so that's how you do body paragraph number 2.